Hey guys, Coach K here. Just wanted to kind of wrap up the week that we had online of learning. I know it was an adjustment for everybody, but want to kind of keep you updated on that. And also want to kind of give you some info as far as what we're going to do this week and some login info. You should have on your Google Classroom three things and three apps that you need to sign up. First of all, clever.com. You sign up for Clever. You go to clever.com, use your email password, and then you hit my teacher page, Jay Niffin or Coach K, whatever it is. And you hit those, you're going to have apps that we're going to use under that page that you will need to, you can just hit. And once you've signed in one time, it should send you to the webpage automatically. Okay? We're going to use those apps for assignments. I just put one for Quizzes. You're signed up for that. Just accept that invite. Number 2, commonlit.org. Make sure that you are signed up for that. Use your email, use your password, and use the class code that I gave you for commonlit.org on your Google Classroom. Khan Academy, same thing. Use your email, password, and sign up. Use that class login, and you'll get in that way. Again, all this is online. Excuse me. All this is using your email and your password. Excuse me, train of thought. But go to clever.com, and all those apps are right there for y'all to use. So make sure you're doing that first. We kind of fast forward. We skipped World War I because of the time frame that we were missing with spring break and last week with the corona, as I call it. Okay. So anyway, a couple things about the Great Depression. Your first assignment. How does what happened is that all these people had extra money from the 1920s. We call that disposable income. And when you have disposable income, you can have extra money for things that you'd want. For like today, you do video games or whatever you want to do, but disposable income. So what people were doing with that disposable income was investing it in the stock market. And that stock market was going up and up and up and up. Well, also at the same time, people were buying on what's called the installment plan. I don't know a lot of people that had $250,000 for a house. So what they do, they get a loan. And they get a loan, they put a certain amount down, and they pay off the rest in installments, usually monthly, and they pay off their house. This is what they were doing in the Great Depression. They were going to these stockbrokers and buying on what was called margin. I would put 10% down of a stock. So if the stock is worth $20, I'd put 10%, that's $2. All right? The stockbroker would take care of the other 90%. Now, that's good as long as the stock market is going up, because that other 90% would be made up when the stock rises in value, and then I could pay off the stockbroker and get a little money in return. Well, people started doing that. Well, then the stock market fell, and all these stockbrokers started making what were called margin calls. They would sit there and they would call and say, hey, you owe me the 90% of the stock. Well, you didn't have it because you were counting on that stock rising in value, and that was the way you're going to pay the stockbroker. So everybody lost money. People started committing suicide because they lost so much money. $13 million or billion dollars, excuse me, or million, what I can't remember offhand, were lost in a single day of trading. That was Black Thursday, October 29th, 1929. That's when the stock market fell. Okay? So the president at the time was Herbert Hoover. Well, Herbert Hoover had a laissez-faire idea of economics, which we've already talked about. Hands-off, government does not control the economy. He didn't want to get directly involved in fixing the Great Depression. He thought that the economy would fix itself. Well, people wanted relief now. So needless to say, people started blaming Herbert Hoover for their plight in the Great Depression. These homeless tenements started... my dogs are coming out. The homeless camps started becoming called Hoovervilles in response and to blame Herbert Hoover for the problems. Then in the election of 1932, the people said enough's enough, we're done with Herbert Hoover, and they elected FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who promised a new deal for the American people. Now, the difference between FDR and Herbert Hoover is FDR. He believed in direct relief, giving money to people and putting them to work through government jobs, where Herbert Hoover, not Hobart, but Herbert Hoover did not. So what happened is that FDR got this New Deal programs. He got Social Security Act. The Social Security Act is your old age retirement. You reach a certain age, you put money into the government, they pay you in retirement. It's not going to be there very much longer in the years to come, but that's a different lesson. Thank you, politicians. Thanks a lot, Obama. That's a joke, guys. All right? It was Trump's fault. That's a joke, too. So, chill. But the Social Security Act also unemployment benefits. So that provided a safety net for people. The FDIC, when these bank runs started happening with the Great Depression or the stock market crash, the banks had no money to give the people that deposited their money into the banks. So now they created the FDIC, which is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which guaranteed your money if the bank failed up to $2,500. Now, if I have $5,000 in the bank, doesn't mean I'm going to get $5,000 back. I'm going to get $2,500 back. Now it's up to $250,000. But you don't want to go to a bank and put your money in it if it is not insured by the FDIC. Works Progress Administration put people to work, government building schools, roads, bridges, and then the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps, that helped people with planting trees and national parks. So FDR was trying to actively do something, which made him a very popular president, which also made him serve 12 years, almost 13, but also gave him, I've lost my train of thought. But also, the people of the United States believed that he was actually trying to help the situation. So that leads us to the next unit. And your next unit's World War II, guys. And I wish we were there in the classroom that we could actually kind of get hands-on with this stuff. But we'll be sending out assignments over World War II. Certain people started taking advantage of these economic situations to get people to follow them, and they had some unsavory ideas. Mussolini, that was actually before the Great Depression, but Hitler is another one. Tojo and Hirohito from Japan. We're going to learn about all these dictatorships that eventually led to World War II and us getting involved in World War II. Lucy, Ruby, stop. My dogs are digging. So anyway, sign in to those apps. Again, when you go to clever.com, all those apps, go to clever.com, hit my teacher page, which is Jay Niffin, and then you'll see all those apps that we're going to use. Google Drive, Google Classroom, Khan Academy, the McGraw-Hill, and Quizzes. The only one not on there is commonlit.org. You're going to have to go there to your web browser, but it's not a big deal. I think I got a lot done in about 9 minutes. So anyway, I hope everybody is happy and safe. I do miss you, ironically enough. I know you're probably just dying to be in the classroom, but it's not the same being in the classroom. But stay healthy, stay safe, be a good citizen. Don't go roaming around, all right? Till this stuff kind of ceases, your responsibility is to be a good citizen. I hope you don't get my dog there peeing and pooping in the background. But she's sitting down. She's eating something. What are you eating? It'll come out later. Anyway, guys, I hope y'all have a great week. You got any questions, reach out to me through my email, justin.niffin@tylerisd.org, or got any questions about the assignments. If you know of people that aren't signed in, get in touch with them. There's still a lot of people that have not kind of logged in or gotten in contact with me. So make sure you're getting things done. Guys, be safe, be happy. See you on the flip side.